Hi, this is Dia Jameson, and today we're going to paint another shell, and this is like a conch shell, and we have a super elementary shapes. So we have a circle for the center, and then we have two elongated triangles on both sides. One is much taller than the other one, and then all around we have few triangles. So just break down the shapes that way, and the opening is like a half an oval kind of to the side of our circle, and then you connect that oval to the point, to the long point. Then we're gonna shade that shell with our watercolor pencil, and I'm using purple, kind of, you see how I shaded that area. And then I'm gonna go in and add those lines for the elements that are gonna be in the shadow, I guess. So we're just trying to create a three-dimensional illusion of the shell by adding lines underneath those smileys that are just coming directly straight down from this point on the top. So, and all of our lines are slightly curved, and then just filling in with two colors, which is an orange and a yellow. So the bottom part I made it a little bit more yellowy, and the top is orange. And I will just give you a little tiny kind of a secret fun way to use watercolor pencils. So I am just using a wet brush, and I'm really trying to make my brush clean between moving from the purple outlining, the first thing that I did, and then the orange color that I added for the body of the shell. So this is our kind of like a background color, so I'm adding the color to the whole shell. You can leave more white areas. I decided not to do that on this one, and you're gonna see on the end how that turns out. I do love how it turned out, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell for notifications for our future videos. But pretty much I'm just trying to smooth that and make it kind of a very pale version of a watercolor. So here is that little fun thing that I do with watercolor pencils, and I dip the tip of my pencil into the water, which activates the paint directly on the pencil. And then when I go into my canvas and I apply it, it's already a smooth application, so it doesn't have that pencil look. It really looks like just heavy painted on that area. And of course you can go with the brush and kind of soften that too. And if you did see, I added a few little points there, so I'm just going around and adding a little bit more color. So there's gonna be few layers on that shell, but practically it's really elementary, and just keeping shadow on the right side and kind of a highlight on the left side, kind of illusion of where the sun or where the light is coming. And little by little I'm just softening some of the edges of the pencil, but trying to also leave a lot of that in, and emphasizing again on the most important parts, which are giving the shell that ruggedy look, and adding that with a reddish color. So you're gonna see quite a few colors that we're gonna go into my shadow areas, going between reddish and brown, and even in one point I'm going to add some blue on those areas, so you see that how that looks. But you see how adding the shadow on that top side pointing down the 4 o'clock, it just made that super three-dimensional, and those lines that we started with create that ruggedy look. Even with painting pencils, if you don't push your pencils too hard, you can lift plenty of the color out just to kind of make it lighter if you need to. But if you push really hard with the pencil, you're actually indenting on the paper, and it's going to be much harder to lift that color. So that's something to watch for, and especially if your surface is already wet. And this is why I start using water directly on my pencil, because then the pencil is super soft, which helps not to indent on my paper if I want to apply a little bit of a color. So you can do everything kind of from the beginning, sketching it with the watercolor pencils and then activating the color, or you can just do what I'm doing, kind of layering and layering until you're happy with what you see. Sometimes I wait for the pencil to dry until I add other colors, but in this one I did not, and it still worked. And if you did see, I did add a few areas a little bit more red, which gives us another really cool effect. So now I'm adding the shadow, and I'm adding the shadow kind of matching almost a little bit the shape of the shell. And you see those little areas, little triangles trying to point towards the points of the shell, the little horns of the shell. That kind of gives us that illusion of the shape of the shell. And just smoothing very quickly the pencil, and adding a little bit of a color around that is like a beigey color, just to give us the illusion that it's sitting somewhere on the beach or on the sand, versus just kind of hanging on the white surface. You can add more details if you want to. I just wanted to keep it super light and concentrate our eye on the shell. And that another way I do sometimes I still paint directly from the pencil with my brush, and then I apply it to the paper. Now this is almost like using blocks, and again I'm going in with a little bit of white, which doesn't make it white, but it makes it a very pale version of the color in certain areas. So if you want to experiment with that, and you still can activate the pencil in the water before you bring it to your paper. And again, I'm adding another layer of shadow with a darker blue color in just a few areas, and that just made the shell really pop. And I think pretty much we are done with this. A few little touches here and there, but pretty much that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give us thumbs up and subscribe for my channel, and hit that notification bell for notifications of our future videos. We are posting at least one video a week, so happy painting. See you soon.